Alright, welcome everyone. This is Red from 4 Guys in a Comic. It's time to talk about some more Secret Empire. We're going to start it off with Captain America. Steve Rogers, issue number, what is this, 18? Yes, 18. So this tie-in going into Secret Empire is pretty interesting actually. There's a lot to it, a lot of dialogue from Captain America. It's basically, really, this whole issue is him giving a big speech. So it's going to be a little bit hard to really go through this like I typically do, page by page. We'll give it a try, but understand a lot of this you're just gonna have to read yourself. And you know what? When you pick this up and read it, you're gonna enjoy it. Okay? So let's kind of look at it for the first page here. You know, I have Namor here, basically kind of reflecting back when he was working with Captain America and thinking basically what he needs to do to help his empire out. And then it cuts back into basically the little Quinjet or whatever you want to call it for Captain America on his way to the UN. And of course, the UN is there and they're arguing, we can't tolerate this, this can't be, blah, 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 this complaining. Typical politics, everybody complaining. But our man, our fearless supreme leader shows up. And of course, everybody starts clapping and is cheerful and happy and welcomes with open arms. I mean, come on. Hydra. Who wouldn't welcome somebody from Hydra with open arms? Come on. So he goes in there and Namor is like, you know what? He's on his way there as well. And he's kind of, I really don't want to listen to the speech. So Steve gets up to the podium and basically, says, he's going to make this brief and how things are going to change. And he says, basically, I know a lot of you are expecting me to open up the floor and some debates will be going on and this and that, but let me tell you that I am here, that this is how it's going to be, and how do I put this? This is not a conversation. This is me telling you how it's going to be. All right, so listen up. And it breaks into, Hydra data storage where some sabotage is going on. And of course, in the background, you have Steve talking more about how things are going to be. And how basically, if you step on our toes, that's it. You know what? We're not going to give you any aid. We're not going to be doing any trade. That's it. And it doesn't matter. Because, believe it or not, you know what? We don't need you. Really. And why would anybody, come on. It's Hydra. And then it goes back into, in Europe, some squadrons going, little Hydra fractions are popping up, and Steve is basically saying, this should be telling you something, that people like the way I'm doing things, and maybe you need to take a look at it too. So a politician decides to stand up and says, this is utter nonsense, blah, 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 and what do you expect from us? And, Steve Rogers is like, I expect you to sit down. Basically, sit down and shut up. And he does so, and he's like, oh crap, I just pissed off Captain America. And so Captain America starts going back into his speech, and then it goes back into, South China with some stuff going on, some more, grandstanding and things. And then it breaks back into Great Britain, and then it goes into New Titan, and it cuts and fades back into all these different places of everybody listening to Steve Rogers' speech, and people aren't too happy with it. And they're realizing, crap, Hydra is Hydra. They're here to stay. They're not playing around. And what can we do against the almighty supreme leader himself? So all of a sudden, view screens come on and interrupting Steve's, dialogue, and it's Black Panther. And he starts saying, you know what, I hate to interrupt you, but I want the floor for a minute. And of course, Steve's not too happy. But, T'Challa start talking about how, I don't need your Hydra agents coming in here into my land trying to take what is rightfully mine. And of course, we know they're going there to try to get a piece of the shattered cosmic cube. And basically he's like, you know what, just stop coming in. Captain America, breaks his podium, he's pissed, and he decided, okay, this is over, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. Steps outside, and who's there? Namor. He's like, oh, hey, I'm glad I was able to meet you. You seem to be leaving early. What, your speech get cut short? And of course, Steve's like, you know what, shut up, basically. And they start talking a little bit, and, and Steve's like, you know what, you have something in mind that I need, and Namor's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, and Steve's like, well, we know you're lying, and Namor's like, yeah, okay, I'm lying. And it basically kind of goes into their, you know, you just need to accept it. This is how things are. And of course, one of the guards tries to step in front of Captain America, and Captain America brushes it off. It's like, you know, you need to keep your watchdogs at bay because, you know, I got my own guys over here. And there's all of his Taskmaster and Wanda and Zemo and everybody ready to support Cap. And Namor basically realizes, yeah, you know what, too much of my kingdom has been destroyed from Hydra. I need to basically bow down to them so I can save my people. And, you know, the little box that he kept the shard in is now, of course, gone. And as we've seen in a preview, I mean, these issues, the release dates of some of these issues don't coincide with each other a little bit. And as we already know that he bowed down and gave the shard to Captain America. And you see, of course, the empty box right there. And this really concluding the issue. A lot of great dialogue and speech by Captain America in there. It's worth picking up to read just for that. But other than that, guys, you got to remember every morning when you wake up, Hell Hydra, okay? Cut off one head and two more, she'll take its place.